Hello again, everyone. Saka here, and welcome back to NASCAR Racing 2003 season, the Next Gen 22 mod by Full Circle Racing Designs, and we are here, as you can see, in the Indy road course, or the Indy GP circuit, and kind of wish it was still on the oval. I miss Indy Oval as a driver. Not sure about the new car and if the oval would produce good racing with the Next Gen 22 cars, but either way, we're sticking to the schedule here for 9 laps and the Indy road course, and believe it or not, this is our first pole of the year. Took 5 months to get it done, but finally we put down one fast lap in our Tides of Avarice Camaro. To our inside there in the 27 A-Shock Toyota is Brandon sharing the front row. We have Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson right behind us, getting ready for the start here, coming on to the oval section. Waiting for that green flag to come out, and there we go. Green flag is out. Racing backwards across that yard of bricks, and a good launch off the straightaway. Looking in the mirror to see if Brandon is going to drive it in deep into turn 1 here. Downshift into second gear, possibly first if we need it. Managed to stay clear. We didn't Tyler Reddick the thing. And just trying to get the power down very flat in the inside portion of the racetrack. No banking to help us, so it is all mechanical grip. There is no aero grip or anything that the track can give us for sure. As we accelerate past the golf course on the inside under the pedestrian crosswalk. A pretty sizable gap thus far, but of course this road course can chew you up and spit you out if you are not careful. So we are going to mind our P's and Q's, especially through this slow section through here. A quick right, left, right, and then we'll get back on the banking. See if we can carry a lot of speed. We can get a moderate amount of speed here up on the banking, but then have to get it woed up right down using the banking here to help pivot us down to the right side back towards the Hall of Fame. And then a lefter, and we are right back for one lap, and that is one lap around the Indy road course. Very slick turn to come out of the infield section and get up onto the banking here. And that is one lap done. Brandon right there on the attack, and there's a lot of time left. If he gets a nose to the inside, we're not really going to push too awful much, and there's Brandon inside on the braking zone. We'll give him the bottom. He kind of uses those track limits, but no worries. I've made worse moves than that for sure. Looking in the mirror, Chase and Larson are back there. Not really much of a threat, and luckily we don't have to worry about the rumble strips coming up in the sim. But right there, that right-hander that we just made last year in real life was notorious for being rooted up, pulled up. They had to rip it off of the racetrack because coming onto this straightaway was massive trouble for the drivers. So hopefully they got that fixed on the actual road course this year. And down into first, hopefully the transmission or transaxle will keep under us here. It's always a worry on road courses with us doing 3X tire wear and fuel. I don't know if that's also 3X mechanical wear. So it's every gear shift that we make is simulating 3 gear shifts every single time. So not sure about that. We'll try to keep the gears under us. We've lost a few gears over the years, and so let's try not to let that happen today. Oh, Brandon really loose, trying to get the power down, and you have to get power down as early as possible, as this is the fastest portion of the racetrack, and if you mess up that right-hander, your entire straightaway is compromised. But no pressure from behind. We're able to really drive it in deep in a straight line, get right to the rear bumper on Brandon. He's riding those curbs, upsetting the car just a bit. We might be able to take advantage as we cruise in. Try to cut the bottom, miss the apex a bit. There's an apex down there somewhere. We just have to find it. And then use the curbs a little bit to help rotate the car with no banking. The rumble strips themselves can help pivot the car if we hit them correctly. This is my least favorite turn on the entire racetrack. It is a deceivingly tight turn, and it feels like you can drive in a whole lot harder than you actually can. and you definitely don't want to go sliding off the track straight, that is for sure. And trying to keep the, whoa, okay. Trying to use a little bit too much curb there, got the car out from under us, so we'll have to continue to press the attack. Hopefully Brandon doesn't gap us too awful much here. We just need to drive smooth and smart, see if we can claw any of that time back in these slow sections. I was talking about the rumble strips being able to help pivot the car, and indeed it did. A little bit more than I wanted. Couldn't get to the gas as quickly as I wanted on that exit, so Brandon is able to gap us a bit down this straightaway, nearly at the halfway point of this race already. This race is flying by, even though the track itself is kind of slow. The race seems to fly. Oh wow, really washed out there. Tried to carry a bit too much speed into that right-hander. But I think this section here is where we can capitalize a bit. Brandon was historically a little bit slower through that section and then a little bit slower in this left-hander. So we might be able to claw back a little bit of time here, but turn one is definitely where I think I'm stronger under braking. Brandon with a little lockup on a downshift. That is also very easy to do. Having too much RPM, those rear tires chirp just a bit as you're trying to get the car woed up. And a little bit smoother that time. We didn't clip the curb and get really out of shape. Brandon with a good launch out of that right-hander. So it seems like historically, on exit, Brandon's a little bit better. On entry, we're a little bit better, and it comes out in the wash in the end when it's all said and done. But this is the money corner. Trying to get the power down and get the car to turn just a little bit on its own. Right there, you could sort of see the car pivot. That's what we want, that controlled right slide. Just a bit. Let's see if we can gain any under braking here. Getting into turn one really deep. And yes, indeed, we're able to claw back a lot of time. So we are not in trouble yet. There's still plenty of time on this road course for sure. Really no pressure in the back. I have no clue who's running third and fourth, but I do know Chase Elliott needs a few good weeks to get into the top 16. It's crazy to think he is out at this point. Kyle Larson with a win. He is in, so Chase really needs a good run today. And between me and Brandon, this is all bragging rights. And a good exchange there in three. Try to keep the car balanced as best we can, straight as possible, and then get a good bite. Ooh, that's not the bite we need. Spinning the rear tires just a bit, trying to get the power down in first gear. And let's see if we can get down into this turn a little bit better. Roll that center. And then cut the sharp apex a bit. And back on the straightaway. And we're running out of time, believe it or not. It feels like the race just started, but time is ticking away. Now, if we are able to close the gap like we did on the last lap, we should be right back on his rear bumper into turn one. Using a lot of brake, and yeah, nice smooth entry into that right-hander. We're able to claw back a lot of time there. Our main goal is not to lose all of that time in the infield section here. Managed to maintain there. And a good cut on the right. Brandon drifts out and a little bit of a wobble. We might be able to gain a little bit of time there, but he was able to get the power down even after that bit of a bobble. Yeah, and under braking, I think we've got it. We just need to find a way around. I think this is Brandon's best portion of the racetrack here. We need to do something a little bit different and maintain it. And I think that was a whole lot better than the laps before. We aren't so far back. So if we can hold this distance going into turn one, we might be able to get to his inside. Brandon overshot the apex a bit out in the grass. Let's see if we can capitalize here. Oh, a little bit of a snap rotation, but we caught it. and we are within striking distance. This is right where I want to be. Drifting out just a bit. And we should be okay for turn number 1. Let's see what we've got here. We will look to the right and get him under braking here. Hard braking. Brandon gives us the lane. We need to hug this apron not to get him with the cross. Can we? All right, really putting pressure on now. We are right there. Let's not give up any of this time and do something stupid. Yeah, looking to the right, there are no cars coming down that front straightaway, so we managed to gap them, even though we're running at a very high AI, at least I thought we were. They don't seem to be able to hold the mid-corner speed that we can. Something to keep in mind if we run this road course next year. I don't know if Indy Road has been confirmed for 2023. I hope not. I hope it's back to the oval, but that's just me. Trying to get the power down, a little bit of wheel slide. But we are still within striking distance. We'll see if Brandon overshoots this apex again off the banking. A much cleaner turn that time for Brandon, getting down towards pit road. A little bit of a slide and a better launch for us there. We just need this car to rotate in this last turn. I was going to say turn 1. But just a few laps to go, and we are a little bit off the pace as far as getting off of that corner. We use our tried and true braking to get right back to that rear bumper if we can. Yeah, it may take a mistake from Brandon here. We need to keep the pressure on just in case. One little slip, one missed braking point, and it's over for either of us if one of us makes a mistake of that nature. Good bite off of that corner. I think we got a good launch that time. We'll be able to close up the gap a little bit closer into this left-hander. At least that is my hope and goal. Indeed. Missed the apex. Kind of both of us did, doing that same line. Very even through there. And Brandon's able to put that cut in and get that car to turn a little bit better. But we didn't slide the tires off of that corner that time. We're able to keep them hooked up and accelerating. Car's trying to drift out. We'll use all the banking. Brandon uses all the banking to get it turned down. And once again, Brandon overshot that right-hander, which sort of messes up the whole flow into that left-hander. So last turn of the course, we've got the car pivoted a bit, power down. A decent exit. White flags are out. One more lap to go. And I think we're within a much better striking distance into turn 1 here. We'll see what we've got. Really driving in hard, locking up the front tires just a bit. Brandon drives it in hard, knowing that we were going to be on the attack, and we are right here, ready to pounce. Really driving hard, abusing those front tires now. We don't need them after this lap, so let's get everything we can out of it. Straight as possible, continue on, power down, good hookup on the rears. We're going to be right there for this left-hander, closer than we have been in laps previous. Let's look to the inside, get him under braking. Had to jump out of the brake. And we made the pass. Brandon right on our rear. He fights back to the inside. He's got a corner there. Trying to get the car pivoted. Brandon overshoots just a little bit. Get the power down. Go. So a better launch off of that right-hander. We are right there. Brandon historically has overshot this right-hander. Let's see if we can pressure to do the same. He hugs a nice tight line. Let's see if we can get the run. Brandon with a slide through that last turn. Let's put the power down. And just like a year ago, it comes down to the last right-hander. And we are going to come across the line for our 8th win of the year. Brandon comes across the line in 2nd. And just what the doctor ordered for Chase Elliott with a 3rd place finish here on the road course. William Byron comes across in 4th, Kyle Larson 5th, Denny Hamlin 6th, Ryan Blaney 7th, Kevin Harvick 8th, 9th, Joey Logano, And rounding out your top 10 is Kyle Busch. So the last lap, the lunge in that 90-degree left-hander, you see us chirp the front tires just a bit. We're able to pivot, but Brandon hanging right there on the right side, and I didn't know if we were clear, so giving him the benefit of the doubt, I didn't want to come across his nose and spin myself out, and that set up the exchange going into the right-hander, and everything looked okay from Brandon's point of view with this right-hander. But something happened in the following left. Brandon was really de-wedged there over the curb, and he just didn't get the car turned down to hit that apex. He tried to keep his foot in it, and unfortunately lost the grip, and we were able to capitalize. Looking at the standings, that is our 8th win of the year. Tyler Reddick is your cutoff driver, tied with his Richard Childress teammate in Austin Dillon. Cole Custer about 1 race ahead. Kyle Busch just 3 back. Chase Elliott 18 back. Bubba Wallace 22 back. Daniel Suarez half a race out, 24 points back. And we go to a very fast and very wide Michigan Speedway next. And who knows what's going to happen there, but that will do it for me. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week from Michigan. Take care.